Nobody indeed. What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. We've got a damn good show lined up for you today. Whole lot of fun. Talking some picks, talking some ball. Yeah, exactly how Coach Harbaugh just said. Nobody. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it because we have no time to waste. We have to look backwards before we look forwards. And that was horrible English and kind of horrible picks last night. 2 and 4. All right, Dalton Connect, our boy, comes through with 2+3s. Lakers game went how we thought it was going to do. South Carolina, Georgia. We had the over 131.5. It ends at 131. Come on, man. I thought we had better karma luck than that. All right, Tennessee first half. They won the first half by 3. We needed 5.5. They lost a damn game. Shout out Kentucky. Good one there. We ended up getting the Lakers 76ers over 216. So that is that. But we're going to move forward. Do better today. That's all we can do. Now, our Howie Schwab crew play of the day. Houston, -8.5, or West Virginia, +8.5. Are you going to go Alabama, +1.5, a nice top 15 matchup against Mississippi State, -1.5. Poll is in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show. Now, we've got some picks for you today. Got 3 of them here, and let me get the ticker going so that you can see, and I'll pull these up so that we waste 0 time. Now, we're going to take Northern Iowa and Drake over 123.5. Yes, Northern Iowa, the home of the Minister of Culture. Melody right there in the chat. We're going Northern Iowa here. Houston, West Virginia, over 123.5 as well. Going to be a fun game there. And Klay Thompson, over 2.5 threes. Yes, he went wild in his last one, but you know how shooters are? When you feel it, you carry it over to the next game. And I think we're going to get a nice volley of attempts. We'll see where the chips fall, but I've got a good feeling Klay is going to be feeling it again in this one. Now, take those picks off because, look, I've been waiting for this for a long time. All right, normally we jump right into the Super Bowl. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is jump right into a little sport. College baseball. And look, I mean, you want to bring the greatest college baseball capper on planet Earth. That's what we're going to do. Johnny Bollman, how we doing, bro?
I'm good, man. It's always good getting into these spring training times, ready to talk some college baseball and soon enough, some Major League Baseball.
Bro, absolutely. Now, as the TV behind me goes spin crazy, look, that's the power that you have, bro. All right. You just set DirecTV completely off. All right. If anybody doesn't know, John Bollman, fantastic dude. Worked with him a long time over at CBS Sports. Dude, we had the quad going. Me, you, Robbie, Fett Show. All right. Had it going. Look, and John Bollman out doing his own thing. Go ahead and give a plug real quick, man. Where can everybody find you?
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys can see my Twitter handle on the screen at John Bollman 11. Link to subscribe to all my picks is in my bio. We've got NHL, NBA, NFL, lots of leagues going, college baseball starting up soon, MLB starting up soon. So we're building something over there, but always happy to be on the show and talk some college baseball here as well.
Bro, hey, you are building, and always happy to have you, my man. And we're definitely going to be talking all throughout the year as well with our man, TJ Parker, right there in the chat. And it's going to be a fun season. So let's go ahead and start it, man, and just take a look here at the season, the preseason rankings, all right, courtesy of D1 Baseball, our friends over there. And I'll pull this full screen. And let me get this. Well, I'll leave the ticker up. It's fine. So, Bollman, when you take a look at this, okay, because we're so early into the year. I mean, we haven't even started yet, really. But, like, when you look at this and you see these teams, who sticks out to you as, yeah, they're going to be pretty damn good, and I might hit the brakes on these guys? What are your first thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest one is the number 1 team in the nation right now is Texas A&M. We saw them get to the College World Series last year. We saw them lose in 3 games, but they had so many guys returning. It seemed like a lot of their players who you thought were going to go to the draft returned as well because they kind of wanted one last shot. So you usually see these teams that make it very far but don't win the big one come back and make a good run. So I think Texas A&M is a team to look out for. I also think Arkansas is always a team to look out for. They haven't won that big one under Dave Van Horn, and they're gonna have a pitching staff. They have a pitching staff every single year. It's just whether they can hit or not, and they always seem to blow up a little bit around regionals time. So I love Arkansas as well. I think something to look out for is going to be these West Coast teams in the NIL, the different conference era, because all these West Coast teams are going to be traveling so much back across the East Coast. We saw UConn last year with their brutal schedule. I believe they went to Auburn, then to the West Coast, back to the East Coast for a couple home games, and then back to the West Coast, and they got off to a really slow start. So I think those are some teams to look out for.
Great points, right? All right. So first off, on Texas A&M, like let me be honest. Quite frankly, like, yeah, Tennessee won the national championship, but I mean, people could say Texas A&M probably should have pulled that thing out, and like I wouldn't disagree. Like that team was so incredibly talented, and I say that to say exactly what you said. Like they bring back so many dudes. Like I really thought that the transfer portal would hit them hard, and it looked like it would at first, and then everybody was like, "Nah, let's just run it back." You know what I mean? Like they're going to be phenomenal. Arkansas, exactly what you brought up. Like they always have pitching. Always. They did work in the transfer portal. Exactly what you said. Can they hit? Right? Because I mean, I remember last year, like we would talk during the week when we had, non-conference games on Tuesdays or whatever. And then we would gear up for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the conference weekend. And it was like, dude, Arkansas games are auto unders. Like Arkansas would win every game 5-1. It didn't matter if they were playing Tennessee, if they were playing Northwest Community Cross State. They were winning 5-1. Like that's how they got down. And they went and got hitters in the offseason. So I'm with you. And then another good point that you brought up too is that, we look at conference realignments, right? And there's going to be so much travel, especially with teams of the West Coast. You look at teams like what? USC, they're in the Big Ten now. You know what I mean? Like it's wild. Talking about teams in California that are coming over to your area and more, you know what I mean? Because you got some Big Ten teams that are on the Eastern Seaboard. Like you're traveling across country, man. It's going to be pretty crazy, but I'm with you. Now, we look at these teams right here, and we do have a question in the chat. And normally I wouldn't jump in the middle, but I believe that I can answer this one for you, but I won't jump in your way. I'll just do it with one. All right. Bretley says, thing I'm most excited about is finding out who the first team to get banned on the banned list. And you know what? I think it rhymes with Ranford.
Yeah. I mean, we already know this team's been banned for a couple of years now. We don't even give them much of a chance. They do have a very good Japanese player who, he's going to make some headlines. He could be one of the top picks in the draft. I don't believe he's eligible this year. I believe he's eligible next year. So look out for him on Stanford. But other than that, I mean, once again, they're going to be traveling a lot across the country. That's going to be big for them. And they got off to a miserable start last year. It'll be really interesting if they can turn it around, but we're going to be fading them a lot in this non-conference schedule for sure.
Bro, I swear to God, last year, like going through these games, it was like the first like big weekend that we had. And I had picked Stanford, because like when it's very early in the year, you got to put together money line parlays that are like 3 to 4 legs just to get even, right? And it was like we had Stanford, and I swear to you, it was like week 2. I swear to you, one of the dudes in the chat said, Bollman's going to kill you for this. And it literally was the one that cost us. And I started dying laughing. I was like, dude, I'm going to hold that comment there because it was perfect. Now, have a little fun with it here, okay? So these are the odds, all right, to make the 2025 Men's College World Series, okay? So I'm going to put them full screen for 1 second, and you guys can see you got Tennessee as the favorite, LSU, A&M, North Carolina, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll pull this back up. But the reason I bring it up, Bollman, is I'm making 3 plays today, all right? This is to make the College World Series, not win it, to make it, all right? And I want you to fade, follow, or roast my ass, all right, as you see fit, okay? Here's what we got. All right, Arkansas plus 210. I feel you on that one. I think Arkansas is going to be really good. LSU plus 110. Not great value because I think LSU is going to be pretty studly this year. And then Vanderbilt plus 370. They finally gave our man Tim Corbin some NIL money to mess around with, even though Vanderbilt's got more money than the federal government. All right. Vanderbilt plus 370. What are you feeling here, brother?
Yeah, I mean, I love these picks. Arkansas, I'm definitely going to be on as well. We've mentioned it. Their pitching staff is going to be unbelievable. They did lose Hagen Smith, but they've got guys that they can just, put right back up there, and it'll be like nothing ever changed. The big question once again is, can they hit and can they get through regionals? It seems like I believe it's 2 years in a row now they've had a home regional and they haven't been able to win it. So I think if they're able to get past that regional, then they should be able to make a run. It's just, it's kind of just in their heads at this point there. LSU, I love that too. They're going to be one of the top teams with NIL. They're very good at bringing talent in. Yes, they lost Tommy Tanks, but I think that's a great look as well. Vanderbilt, always a good SEC team. They play defense, run the bases really well, and pitch very well. Their pitching staff, I believe, is a little young this year, so it'll be interesting to see who kind of shows up and who gets those weekend rotation spots. But you can't go wrong with 3 SEC teams to make the College World Series.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I like when I was finishing this up last night, I was like, hey, this doesn't look good. Like we need to look elsewhere than just the SEC. But these teams are sitting up right there, and there are others for sure. But these are the 3 that I want to get on the board now. Speaking of LSU, okay, we have to discuss this, Bollman, because look, all right, you have done this, worked this at the D1 level, studying on analytics, all of it. What in the hell do we do with LSU pitcher Chase Shores, who is, look at that height and weight, 6'8", 252 out of Midland, Texas. 6'8". This dude is bigger than Gronk. What in the hell are we going to do with Chase Shores, bro?
Yeah, the dude throws a billion. Good luck hitters. He's got the kind of stuff of Paul Skeens, to be honest. It has flashes of that. He throws over 100. He's got very good stuff. I believe it was 2 years ago where I want to say tore his UCL, had to get Tommy John surgery, was out for all of last year. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
You're right. No, you're right.
Yep. Okay, yeah, was out all of last year. Should be good to go this year. I'm sure they'll kind of work him in. They won't necessarily have him go 7-8 innings to start, but this kid is unbelievable. He might have the best stuff in college baseball this year. So it'll be very interesting to see, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I am too. Look, and I just asked, I said, what the hell do we do with Chase Shores? And our man Addison, dude, he had the best answer. You give it to him on 4th down. You want a tush push. You got it right there. We'll have to come up with a better name. All right. The Baton Rouge Moo. I don't know. That was terrible. I couldn't even come up with a joke on that one. But yeah, dude, this guy is good. I'm surprised LSU even has a uniform this big for the Big Hoss. Hell, I'm surprised he hadn't been recruited to play football down there. All right, so that's some college baseball talk. Bollman, buddy, it's so good to see you. I don't want to keep you. We got 2 things we need to do real quick, and we'll let you get out of here, all right? Because I know you got work you got to do. Number 1, plug your site. How do we find you?
Yeah, so at John Bollman 11, you guys can see my Twitter handle on the screen. I work with Dub Club now. You can go to see the link in my bio. You click on that link. You can get a subscription yearly, monthly, weekly. And then I'll be tweeting out some promos as well. So if you guys, you want to get in for a free trial for a week, you can come in and do that. Obviously, it doesn't get you too much right now. We're still got NHL and NBA going. But that'll be more helpful close to the baseball season. And then we've got discounts as well. So lots of options for you guys to join. And, it'll be a lot of fun this year.
Dude, it is going to be fun. And look, everybody make sure, follow him on Twitter. I'll make sure to retweet, put all his info out. I'll put it in the Discord as well. Now, Bollman, one last thing we got to do, and then I'll let you out of here, all right? Every single person, you were around for the origination of this game over at CBS, all right, the club. All right, first touchdown scorer in Super Bowl 59, but it has to be odds at plus 1,000 or more. So I'll pull the ticker off. I'll pull this full screen. All right, who do you like here?
Yeah, so looking at these odds, I was thinking a little Kareem Hunt action. Obviously, that isn't at the plus 1,000 threshold, though. So I think I'm going to stick with the Chiefs on the ground. We're going to go with Patrick Mahomes plus 2,000. He had 2 rushing touchdowns last game. It seems like everybody's all in on Kareem Hunt. They're trying to stop him. They're trying to stop Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes pulled it for 2 last game. So plus 2,000, why not? I feel like it's a good chance.
I love it. Hey, and I'll tell you this, man, like we've already created our Super Bowl list of like picks, to start getting in before all the numbers go crazy. I'm on Patrick Mahomes rushing attempts again. Buddy, see, this is why you're the GOAT. Absolutely why. All right, Bollman, we'll let you get out of here. But, buddy, so good to see you. Look forward. It's going to be a fun year, man.
All right. Appreciate it, AB. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, buddy. Take care. All right, that's John Bollman. God, I love that guy. I miss being on with him, man. That was fun. You have no idea how happy that made me. All right, so we're going to get here into Super Bowl 59, a couple things that I want to hit on, and then got another fun addition to the DTL crew. So first off, let me find it here because we've got a ton of damn slides going on. Need to pull it up. There it is. Okay. So sorry, that was exciting television right there. All right. We are adding one play. All right. And I'll get the banner going right here again. We're adding one play to our Super Bowl list. And we're going to go ahead and put in the 2-point conversion attempt. Plus 110. I got it at BetMGM. If you go and click game props, scroll down. Understand there's 2 options. There's successful 2-point conversion attempt, and then there's just conversion attempt, okay? Make sure it's just conversion attempt because we don't care if they get it or not. That doesn't matter for our bet. It's just if it's attempted and it's with both teams. So make sure to do that. BetMGM game props. That's where I got it. Now, it's a big soccer day, and I know you guys trust me with your soccer picks. So we're going to go Alexi Lawless, anytime goal. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Brad Betts Footy. My man, Brad. It's good to talk to you, buddy. How we doing?
Doing great, AB. Thanks for having me.
Man, buddy, thanks for coming and welcome here. Let me get this damn pick screen off. Welcome to the DTL crew. And we are going to have you breaking down soccer. I was going to say all season long, but I don't even know when the seasons are. But I do know that today is a monster Champions League day. Is that correct?
Absolutely. It's actually the last day of the UCL or until we get to the knockout stage. So let's be honest, there are, I think, 16 matches, and 14 of those 16 have implications within it. So it's not just everything you see on the surface. There's a lot of details that make each individual fixture different. So we got to highlight the specific ones we want to go after. There's some teams who don't care, and there's some teams who care maybe too much. So there's a lot going on, and I'm pumped to answer a bunch of questions and give us a best bet for today.
Dude, hell yeah. Okay, so you have piqued the hell out of my interest. So let's start with a best bet. I'll put it right here on screen. All right, let it rip, brother. What you got?
Love this. So this is a bet that I have been tailing over and over and over again. We tail Red Star Belgrade every time that they are in Europe. Why? Let's dive into the figures. Well, first off, Young Boys is at home, and these 2 teams have nothing to play for, which means we should just see 2 teams really going after it. There's nobody going to be sitting back. People want to get on the score sheet. I expect both teams to be lighting it up. We have Young Boys who are eliminated, scoring in 14 of the last 18 in Europe. They've also conceded in 11 of 12 in Europe. So they're regular scorers, regular conceders, especially in European competition. They've had over 2.5 goals in 13 of their last 18, but it's really more about Red Star. Red Star Belgrade, a.k.a. Crvena Zvezda from Serbia. They've scored now in 55 of their last 57 matches. They are one of the top scorers. They are a fantastic side who loves to play open football. They would rather outscore you than sit in deep and try to survive. And also, they've conceded now in 22 of their last 23 in European play. So they not only do they score, but they also concede let balls in their net. They've conceded now in 2+ goals in 11 straight matches away from home in Europe. So then not only do they just concede, but they concede multiple. And then you take it a step further. Crvena Zvezda has now hit over 2.5 goals in 19 of their last 21 coming into this match. And they've hit over 2.5 in 47 of the last 48 that have hit both teams to score. So what it looks like on the surface is Young Boy should score. It looks like Sverna Zvezda should score. And it looks like there should be a third goal coming in based on those records. So my favorite bet today, just in case we see one team dominate the other, that over 2.75 Asian total. 3 goals gives you a clear on your bet, half win. 4 goals get you out. And there are these two teams, nobody's going to be sitting back. These are two teams who want to prove themselves, show that they belong with this competition, and have a good time, put their name on the score sheet. You got to understand that in football, these guys are humans too. If you get a chance to get a Champions League goal, it's the highlight of your life. So you're going to take that opportunity every time you get it. So I'm absolutely pumped for this fixture. It is one where it doesn't matter, really. So like we have these two teams who have nothing to play for. And that actually makes it more advantageous on this last stage. You kind of have more expectations or less expectations, and you kind of understand what each team has to play for.
Look, let me just say, you just ripped it right off. Dude, all right, so this is what we're going to do, okay? Let me pull this off screen for just a second. Plug where we can find you, your membership group. How can we find you off of there?
Yeah, if you want to follow me on a day-to-day basis, you can find me on X at Brad Betts Footy. I post a lot of different content. I'm heavily focused into stats. Yes, I'm a former player, but I really dive into the statistical categories in football. So come find me there. And if you want my day-to-day plays, you can also find me at Dub Club. There's a link in my X bio. I am at Brad Betts Footy, both on Dub Club and on X.
Okay, this is what we're going to do because you just absolutely ripped that perfectly. And dude, love having you with this crew. The first 10 people, all right, that want to sign up with Brad, I'll pay the first month of it. The first 10. We'll figure that out. If you're interested in that, just type Brad in the chat and we'll get all of the logistics of that. But dude, well freaking done. Okay, now you've got your best bet. All right. So I know that we've got other games and other things that you're looking at. So I'm going to throw it to you. And quite frankly, look, I could barely read the pick screen, which means you are doing it correctly. We got Asian lines going. You're the best, dude. So I'm going to throw you on screen. You just let it rip, man. The best thing I can do is get the hell out of your way. So, Brad, all with you, buddy.
Love it. So I was trying to scroll here, look at some comments to see if anybody has any specific questions. Kind of hard. There's a lot of comments, so I can't necessarily.
Yeah, I just messed you up with the Brad drop. Yeah. So look, if I see any, I'll scroll through and I'll drop them on. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, first off, besides UCL, we have a match coming up here in 7 plus 22 minutes in Qatar. Let's talk about Qatar. I talk about Qatar all the time. Qatar comes in right now. They've scored over 2.5 goals in 44 of their last 51 matches. For anybody doing math, that's 86%. So above 8 out of every 10 matches are going to hit 3 goals. So there's a match coming up here at 9:45. The previous one is on right now, about to finish 2-2, hit that over that 3 threshold again. So you're looking at this league specifically in Qatar. Both teams of scorers hitting 37 of the last 51. That's 73 and 20 straight. Both teams to score has also hit over 2.5. Goals are flying in. That is a league you might want to tail if you're not looking at the UCL. But obviously, you are looking at the UCL because it's the biggest match slate, and it's one of the most exciting competitions that you will find, especially in the world of football, soccer, whichever one you want to call it. But let me take a look at highlight a couple matches. There's some issues and some things we want to pay attention to specifically. I think the best match of the day, the most implications of any match, Stuttgart and PSG. It's a weird one. You're seeing an over 2.5 total at plus money. And if any other day of the week this game would be played without the implications involved, this would be a 3 to a 3.5 total. Why? It's because both teams are sitting at 10 points right there on that cutoff line. So if Stuttgart better PSG and get all 3 points, there's a chance that PSG won't even qualify for the knockout stage. PSG is definitely the better squad, but they're playing away from home, and there is some complacency there. So obviously that line has dropped. If there's one goal in this match, there could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or it could be a 0-0 testy situation where if Man City's not getting the better of Club Brugge, they're just going to sit on it because neither team can get into that top qualifying, the 8, which avoids you the knockout stage. So these two teams, it's an absolute necessity, one, that they don't lose. Neither team can lose and conceivably expect that the other things below them are going to keep them into the UCL. So this is a match where it's going to be testies. One team up, the other team's going to shell out completely to get that goal, and it should leave open for the other team. One goal is going to lead to multiple, but if no goals happen, it could stay close to that 0-0. So be very careful. It's exciting, and those totals are very advantageous looking on the surface, but there is a lot of issues underneath. So there's that match I want to highlight real quick. You also have, let's say, another big match of the day that everybody's probably looking at is Barcelona and Atalanta. You got a total here above 3.5, around -130, -135. That is just too much right now because both of these teams are in that knockout stage qualifying. And essentially, is if they don't do anything too rash, they're going to miss out on that qualifying knockout between the two teams, which means they have a better chance to get to the final stage. You want to be in that top 8. There's another team as well. You've got, I mean, there's so many, honestly. Lille and Feyenoord. This match is a over dream, except this is another match where two teams, all they need to do is tie. Can't really get too high on the table. Can't get too low on the table. So we're looking at maybe some complacency, and that's why you're getting those lines. If you followed Fire from the Netherlands, they are absolute high flyers, scorers, conceders. 27 of the last 31 they've conceded. So you expect it. They just came out last round and put the hurt on. They beat Bayern Munich 3-0. They mean absolute business, but Lille scores in just about every single home match. They may have lost one of their last 20-something matches. They should score, but they also concede like crazy. However, there's implications involved. So everything you're looking at isn't necessarily what you think it is. Sporting needs to win, and they're playing an eliminated Bologna squad. A lot of people want to back Sporting. They've just had their manager gone within the past month. They're a different squad. They're not adapting well. And when you have a team that needs points, sometimes they play complacent. And Bologna, they don't have anything to play for other than pride. And when you have that as a player, sometimes you can play free-flowing football, and that allows you to really express yourself. Nothing to lose. I expect them to score. But if anybody has any specific questions, I'll be happy to get into anything. I see one real quick. Pulisic to score or assist. I am not an anytime goal scorer or anytime assist bettor. I don't find the odds to be indicative of the actual success of the individual play. When you look at it, there's too much that can happen in football. One VAR call, one missed opportunity, one defender taking you out, anything, a substitution, a nagging injury. If you're betting on one person to do one thing, you're much better off trying to look at the full team to do one action. A lot of times those can be better figures to correlate your bet.
Dude, let me say this. Feel free to take a breath. You just ripped for like 10 minutes straight, and I say that awesomely. Dude, you want to talk about pride. It's the pride of getting to sit next to you, brother. That was phenomenal. You're getting all kinds of love in the chat. Absolutely, as you should. Now, we did have another question here, and let me find it. It was a team total. Belgrade team total. Any thoughts? And yeah, bro, chug some water. You deserve that, dude. You just killed it. Any thoughts on Belgrade?
It's a tough one because, as I mentioned in the breakdown with Red Star Belgrade, aka Crvena Zvezda, they're an open football team, and both teams have nothing to play for. Young Boys have underperformed in the UCL when you look at the actual goal total. However, their EXG has been just solid. They have unfortunately not been able to find the net. They've had some tough competition. Now they return home playing for pride. When you look at Crvena Zvezda, they're a conceding team. They've conceded 23 of 22, or 22 of 23, excuse me. So almost every single match when they're in Europe. And then you go away from home, 11 matches straight. They've had 2+ goals conceded. It's more likely to look for the over total goals. That 2.5 or 2.75 can really save you if Young Boys comes out here and puts the hurt. And let's say last minute, the Serbian team decides to just completely change their lineup. this 2.75 can really save you instead of going for something that only one team can achieve.
You are incredible. I am so glad that you are on our team, brother. You are phenomenal. Now, I'll let you get out of here because you just went, dude, just perfection here. But I do have to have two things from you, and then we'll get out of here. Okay. Number one, and this everybody has to do it. All right. Super Bowl 59. Okay. We play a game, the club. Yep. Got to pick first touchdown score plus 1,000 odds or more. I'll put it on the screen here. All right. I'll take this off. Let it rip, brother. Who you like?
Well, everybody knows I am a football bettor as soccer, not necessarily an American football
That's
bettor.
what makes it so good. Yes.
I am a red-blooded American. I have paid attention to the NFL since I was a child. So there's a couple things that I really look forward to. I look forward to trends and patterns. And I actually watched the last match, the last game, and Patrick Mahomes, what he does is unique to everybody in the game is he really puts the team on his back in individual situations. So what we would see is when it got close to that goal line, instead of tossing the ball up, instead of trying to give it to somebody else, you saw him kind of bootleg out and give himself that option to run it in. So I really liked Bollman's pick on Patrick Mahomes, anytime touchdown score. I think he wants this MVP personally. I think he's sick and tired of people talking about Andy Reid now, which is what they've been doing lately. I think this could be one of those ultimate Patrick Mahomes performances. And I really have no idea, but I'm going to take Patrick Mahomes anytime touchdown score for the first one. I think
dude, it's why I love you. Like, dude, you're the best. Okay, last one, and I'll let you get out of here because we have definitely taken up more of your time. But, brother, I cannot be more excited to have you on our team for sure. You are.
Thank you. And I will stay in the chat with anybody I know. I saw some questions. I'll stay and answer them, get to anything that we didn't get to touch on. And as well, you can just DM me. And anybody who has access to my Dub Club also has access to my Discord, which is just a constant run of stats every single day. So it is something else I provided. I forgot to mention it, but let's jump into this last part.
No, bro. You have earned your plugs, Hoss. Like, dude, you have earned them. And like I said, I'll go through and pick the first 10 that want to become members there, and I'll pay the first month. That one's on me. So everybody make sure to check Brad out and support our guy. Now, the last one, and let you get on out of here, okay? So we have a running game, all right, we have $200 on the line, all right? We're going to choose 4 people to win $50, all right, each. But we got to hit the bet. And the bet, you are going to be the decider today. Unfortunately, our man didn't get it yesterday, but that's what makes the game fun, is that it's hard, okay? But if you get it, we'll select 4 people to chat. So in the chat, write Melanie. All right. That is how I know that you're in, and we will randomly select 4 winners if it hits. So here it is. Okay. We've got Texas and Ole Miss in basketball tonight. All right. In Oxford, Mississippi at Ole Miss. The total is 141.5. We going over or under total points?
Are we still in regular season?
Yes.
And we haven't hit conference yet?
We have hit conference. We are in conference play.
We're in conference play?
Yeah, right in the mid. Yeah, we're right in the middle of conference play.
But not competition conference.
Correct.
We're going to go over. We're going to say that they're going to push the legs a little bit tonight. Look for extra points. Not be as scared to go for it, because there is a little bit less on. There is a lot on the line, but there's just slightly less.
I love it. No, look. Overs are always a good play. It's more fun to watch scoring than non-scoring, right? Even though we always respect anybody that plays defense in any sport. But, dude, great freaking call. Brad, you absolutely crushed it. Sure do appreciate it. We'll be talking after the show. Dude, welcome in. And I know I can speak for everybody when I say thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me. And again, I'm going to drop into the chat. Leave any questions. So this is goodbye for now, but I'll see you guys soon.
Good to see you, brother. Thank you, man. Dude, how much did he just crush that? Oh my good. Welcome to the family for sure, Brad. Absolutely love it. All right. So we'll get out of here. We're taking up enough of your time today. I will put the picks up here real quick and go through them. Reminder, we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern for our quick afternoon show to get our final bets in for today. But what we have here, picks so far, Northern Iowa Drake over 123.5. We're also going Houston, West Virginia, over 123.5. And we're going Klay Thompson over 2.5 threes. Now, those are our 3 picks. But we have a stat of the day. And that was exciting television right there. All right. Houston basketball. Big one tonight against West Virginia. Houston has hit the over in 7 of their last 11 road games. Even though they can play some hellacious defense, Houston, they can put some points up as well. It's going to be a fun one tonight between them and West Virginia. So, everybody, hey, that's all the time we have for today. Huge thank you to John Bollman as well as our man, Brad Betts. Love having these guys joining the fam here. Great people. Make sure to support them. I'll tweet out all their information, put it in the Discord of how to find them on Twitter, how to find them at their sites, and all of that. And, of course, support them because I'm doing it too. Absolutely, yes. And Liddy, look at this. 1999. Brad is a great 100% he is. Dude, he's phenomenal. And Liddy, thank you so incredibly much. So, everybody, like we said, best of luck. Let's cash these damn tickets. We'll see you live at 3 p.m. Eastern today here on Driving the Line. Let's go get it. Thanks.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!